Hello students, now we are going to study random assignment schemes that are used in MAC protocols. We are going to discuss only a few, not all the random assignment schemes under MAC. Okay, so the ones that we are going to discuss are Aloha, which is also known as pure Aloha, slaughtered Aloha, and the different types of CSMA. Okay, so CSMA, CSMA CD, and CSMA CA. So let's start. So first we'll discuss the pure Aloha. So the pure Aloha is a simple communication scheme and it was developed by the University of Hawaii. So its working is as follows. If a node has data to send, it transmit. So when the node is having the data, it transmits. It does not bother to check if the medium is free. Directly starts transmitting data. If the frame is reaches the receiver successfully, then the next frame is sent. And in case the frame fails to reach the receiver, then the frame needs to be retransmitted. So due to the nature of this scheme, if there are many stations involved in transmission, say there are stations A, B and C, and all of them have data to be sent at the same time. So when A has the data to send, it will start transmitting. When B has the data to send, it will start transmitting. When C has the data to send, it will also start transmitting. They do not check if the other stations are already transmitting. Okay, so due to this, there is a high possibility, as you can see, of data collision. Okay, so remember that in pure Aloha, although it's a simple scheme, the number of collisions that can occur is very high. Okay, so in other words, it works fine only when there are a small number of senders who send the data infrequently. Okay, that is, the contention is small, and the number of collisions becomes very high when the number of contenders for transmission is high. So when the number of contenders for transmission means when the number of senders for transmission is high. So this is how your pure Aloha works. So just to summarize, it's a simple communication system developed by University of Hawaii. The way it works is, if a node has data to transmit, it starts transmitting. They are not check if the medium or the channel is busy. Okay. If the frame reaches the receiver, then the next frame is sent. And if a frame fails to reach the receiver, then it has to be sent again. It works fine if the number of senders is small and they send the data infrequently. And the collision rate increases if the number of senders is high. Okay. So to improve upon this scheme, they came up with another version of Aloha known as slaughtered Aloha. Okay. So in slaughtered Aloha, the working is similar except that there are some time slots. Okay. So what is done is, the time is divided into equal size slots into which a packet can be sent. So since the time is divided into equal size slots, so suppose this is time, it is divided into equal size slots. Okay, so since the slots in the are equal size, therefore the packets also need to be sized according to the time slots. Therefore the size of the packet is also restricted. We cannot send a bigger size packet within this time slot. So the packet can be smaller than the time slot or almost equal to the size of the time slot, but it cannot be a larger than the time slot. Then it will create a problem. Okay. So whenever a node wants to send a packet, it can do so, but only at the beginning of the time slot. So suppose this is the beginnings of the time slot. then any station that wants to transmit can only transmit at the beginning of the time slot. Okay, the beginning of the time slots are marked with the help of some beacon signals. Okay, some signals are sent at the start of each time slot so that all stations are aware that this it's the start of the time slot. So although uh, each station is given a slot based on time, it does not work fine if the number of stations that wants to send data is high. Okay, remember that. So each station in Pure Aloha gets their own time slot at which they can start sending, or instead of saying own time slots, I think it's better to say that they do not get their own time slot. I want to correct myself. I want to say that the stations can transmit only at the beginning of the time slot. Okay, so if two stations attempt to send at the same time slot at the beginning, then again the collisions will happen. So suppose this is station A, station B. At the beginning of the slot, both of them attempt, and there will be a collision. That's why it is said does not work well if number of stations wanting to send data is high. So if we had more stations, the probability of collisions further increases. Okay, so I hope you are getting this. The next scheme under random assignment is CSMA. Okay, CSMA scheme. CSMA stands for Carrier Sense Multiple Access. Now, Carrier Sense Multiple Access or the CSMA scheme works better than the Aloha scheme for transmitting data. That is, it reduces the number of collisions. Okay, the way it works is a node senses the medium before it starts to transmit. Before transmission, the stations will check whether the medium is free or it is busy. If the channel is busy or the medium is busy, then the station will defer transmission. And if the channel is free, it will start transmitting. Okay, so this is the basic CSMA scheme, how it works. Then there are two more popular ways it is implemented. One is known as CSMA CD. CD stands for collision detection. And the other version is CSMA CA. CA stands for collision avoidance. So CSMA CD and CSMA CA are two more versions of the basic CSMA scheme. So this is how CSMA CD works. Okay. So when a frame is ready, then the transmitting station will check if the channel is idle or busy. So first it will check if the medium is busy or idle. If the medium is busy or the channel is busy, the station wanting to send the data will wait till the channel becomes idle. Okay, it does not transmit if the channel is busy. So once the channel is idle, the station starts transmitting. Okay, when the channel becomes idle, the station starts transmitting, and the transmitting station then continuously monitors the channel to detect for collisions. So although it has already started transmission, that's not the end of it. The station continuously monitors the medium for any kind of collisions that may occur. Okay, in case a collision occurs, then it starts observing, it starts detecting whether some collision is happened. Then if a collision is detected, transmission is stopped, and the transmitting station then sends a jam signal to terminate the transmission. It sends a signal, jamming signal onto the medium to terminate all the transmission, to remove all the corrupted frames. And then it waits for a random time interval before it resends the frame. So what happens if a collision is detected? Transmission is stopped by sending a jamming signal. Why this jamming signal is sent? To remove all the corrupted frames from the medium, so that the receiver has to discard all this corrupted frame, or the medium has to remove all this corrupted frame. Once that is done, it waits for some random time interval before it resends the frame. So after some random time, it again attempts to transfer the data, and then the entire process is repeated. So this is how CSMA-CD works. So CSMA-CD works on this basic principle of collision detection. So what is the meaning of this collision detection? Whenever some frame collision is detected, the transmission is immediately stopped. Why do we stop the transmission? To avoid the bandwidth wastage. Okay. If you don't stop the transmission, simply corrupted frames will be continuously sent to the receiver. Okay. And then we need to resend all these frames. So we stop the transmission and restart with the correct frames. Now, CSMA-CD scheme works well in wired networks but not in wireless networks. So the question is why? Okay, I've explained you the working of CSMA-CD in these 5 steps. So this 5 steps works well in a wired network but does not work in wireless networks. So why? Okay. Remember that in a wireless network, as the strength of the signal, as the signal is traveling, okay, from the sender to the receiver, the strength of the signal is decreasing. Okay, as the distance increases, the strength of the signal decreases. Okay, you must be noticing this also, as if this is the tower and this is your mobile. As you move further away from the tower, you get a weaker signal. Okay, so as the distance increases between you and the tower, or your mobile and the tower, the strength of the signal decreases. Okay, so remember this as I'm explaining the answer to this, why CSMA-CD works well in wired networks but not in wireless. So in a wired network, what happens? There's a sender, there's a receiver, and they are connected by a wire. That's why it's known as wired network. So in a wired network, you assume that this wire will contain a equal strength signal throughout. Okay, the strength of the signal will be equal throughout this wire. Whereas what happens to the strength in a wireless? As the signal travels, the strength is decreasing. So first it is a strong signal, and as it goes, the strength is decreasing. Okay, so what happens due to this? In wireless network, it is very difficult for the transmitting node to detect a collision. Like we have discussed, a CSMA-CD, in CSMA-CD, the station starts transmitting and then monitors the channel for collision. Okay, in CSMA-CD, station starts transmitting and monitors the channel for collision. That is, the sender detects collision. Okay, in a wireless network, what happens? It's very difficult for the transmitting node to detect collision. Why? Because signals received from other nodes may be too weak compared to its own signal. So just how to understand this? Let me take one example. Say there is a station A here. Okay, A wants to send data to some station B. Okay, so when it senses the channel using the CSMA scheme, okay, it finds the medium as free, so it starts transmitting. It starts transmitting to B. Okay, now if this distance is large, okay, as the signal reaches from A to B, as it reaches B here, say in this portion the signal is quite weak, signal is present but the signal is weak. So A has started with the signal here, your signal is very strong, your signal is very strong, and as it is reaching the destination, in this point here, the signal from A is weak. Okay, say there's one more station here, say D. There's a station D here. So here the strength of the signal of A is very weak. Okay, so in that region there is another station D. D also wants to send data to B. Okay, so when D senses the medium, since A signal is weak, it D recognizes that A signal as noise. It is not able to detect A signal. So what happens? D assumes that the channel is free and it starts transmitting data to B. Okay, D assumes that the channel is free and it starts transmitting data to B. Okay, since this signal from A in this area of D is very weak. Okay, now what happens at B? At B, okay, it receives two signals, one from A, one from D. So there is a collision. There is a collision, and B detects the collision because the frames are getting corrupted when it is computing the checksum. Okay, so this is how CSMA CD fails to work in your wireless network. Okay, so what happens? Because of collision, you have to retransmit the data and it leads to channel wastage. Okay, but the same CSMA CD works in a wired network. Okay, because in the wire we assume that the signal strength is constant. So suppose, let's take the same example. A is sending data to B. A is sending data to B. This is the data. Along the wire it is going. So we are assuming the strength of the signal to be constant. Okay, strength of the signal does not decrease. So some station D here, when he wants to send data to B, he senses this channel. He finds out that A is transmitting data to B. So when he checks this channel here, he knows that the station D knows that some transmission is happening here and the channel is busy. So since the channel is busy, D does not transmit. That is the way your CSMA CD works. Okay, so in a wired network, it is able to detect whether the channel is busy, or it's able to detect collisions more easily. Whereas in a wireless network, the stations are not able to detect for collisions because the signals received from other nodes may be too weak. Okay, the signals received from other nodes may be too weak. Then in a wireless network, so if collision detection does not work in a wireless network, then what works? Okay, so we can see that in a wireless network, collision avoidance scheme works better. Okay, in a wireless network, collision avoidance works better compared to collision detection. So why? So let's look at the reason why collision avoidance works better compared to collision detection. So the basic principle in collision avoidance is explained in this first point. Okay, pay attention. In collision avoidance, the basic idea is that we need to prevent collisions at the moment they are most likely to occur. Okay, so we have to decide where these collisions will most likely occur and try to prevent them before they happen. So as you must have understood, collisions mostly occur when the channel is released after a transmission. Okay, suppose how you understand this, let's take an example. Say there are three stations A, B and C. Okay, so there's this channel. A wants to transmit the data, okay, to the destination. This is the destination. So it senses the channel using the CSMA scheme. It finds that the channel is free and it begins transmitting the data. It begins transmitting the data to the destination. Okay. After some time, B and C also want to transmit. Okay, using the same channel. Using the same channel. So B and C sense the channel. B and C sense the channel. So when they sense the channel, they find that the channel is busy. Okay, since the channel is busy, they wait for it to become free. After some time, A finishes with its transmission. A finishes with its transmission and releases the channel. Releases the channel. Okay. So when this channel is released, now what B and C were monitoring it. B and C were monitoring when this channel will become free. The moment this channel becomes free, B and C will both attempt to transmit at the same time. So if we avoid this situation wherein soon after a channel is released, we do not allow two stations to transmit at the same time, then we can avoid collisions. That is the basic idea behind collision avoidance. What is the idea? Soon after a channel is released after transmission, we do not allow the stations to transmit at the attempt to transmit at the same time. Okay, we do not allow the stations that are waiting for transmission to attempt to transmit at the same time. So that is how you try to avoid the collision avoidance. So what we do, so this is what I just explained to you. So when a transmission is occurring, several nodes may be monitoring the channel and waiting for it to be free. When the transmission ends, these nodes will sense the channel as free and try to transmit. When they transmit, at the same time, it will result in collisions. So to avoid this, to avoid the collisions, in the collision avoidance schemes, we force all the nodes to wait for a random amount of time. So suppose this collision between A has ended its transmission to the destination. This transmission is over. So channel is free. So B and C are waiting for transmitting now. So then what we do? All the nodes that are waiting for transmission are made to wait for a random amount of time. It's not a fixed amount of time. So say B is made to wait for say 5 seconds, C is made to wait for say 10 seconds or whatever. Random, it is a random number. Okay. So after 5 seconds, B will sense the channel. Since A has already finished the transmission, when B senses the channel after 5 seconds, it will find the channel as free and it will start transmitting. It will start transmitting. So after 10 seconds, when C senses the channel, what will happen? It will find the channel as busy and it will wait. So it will wait again for a random amount of time. It will wait again for a random amount of time. And so on. This continues. Therefore, this reduces the chances of collision. So that is why we say that in a wireless network, CSMA CA works better than CSMA CD. Okay. So this was all about the random assignment schemes. So in random assignment schemes, we studied three algorithms: Aloha, or in other words, pure Aloha, slotted Aloha, and CSMA. So pure Aloha works on the principle that if a node has data to send, it starts transmitting. Does not check if the channel is free. In slotted Aloha, the time is divided into equal size slots and transmission can happen only at the beginning of each slot. Okay. Pure and slotted Aloha work well if the number of senders is less. Then we studied CSMA CA. So in CSMA CA, we discussed that how it works. First, the node senses the channel. If the channel is free, it begins transmission. If the channel is busy, then it waits for the channel to be free. There are two popular versions of it: CSMA CD, that is collision detection; CSMA CA, that is collision avoidance. So CSMA-CD works by monitoring the channel after transmission, and if collision is detected, then transmission is stopped by sending a jamming signal. Why jamming signal is sent? To stop the wastage of the bandwidth. We did not send corrupted frames. When the data had already got corrupted, we do not send the remaining data. Okay, since we need to retransmit the corrupted data. So we stop the transmission, resend the corrupted data. From that point onwards, we resend all the data. So we discussed why CSMA CD works well in wired networks and not in wireless. Okay, because we said that as the strength of the signal in wireless network decreases, okay, the transmitting node will find it difficult to detect the collisions. Okay, so since it cannot detect the collisions, it will also begin to transmit data, resulting in collisions at the destination. Okay. So in a wired network also we discussed why collision detection is more easier, because the strength of the signal remains constant, due to which it's easier to detect whether channel is busy or even if collisions have occurred. Then we also discussed how collision avoidance is better than collision detection in a wireless network. So we said that collision avoidance means stopping the collisions at the moment at which they are most likely to occur. So that moment we discussed as the moment when the channel is made free after a transmission. So we discussed that all the stations that want to transmit are made to wait for a random amount of time before they begin to attempt to transmit. So that is how the chances of collision are reduced. Okay, so this was all about the random assignment schemes under the MAC. So these were just a few, not all. So thank you students for listening.